Hey guys, it's Becky Bamboo. Today's Friday, September 18th, 2015. So, I've had a really rough week. I haven't done very many videos. Actually, I got some kind of flu bug, and I've been sick for the last 3 days. Today's the first day that I'm actually, able to kind of sit up and not get dizzy and nauseated as soon as I move. So, I'm trying to get a few things done. I had to keep my kids yesterday. A 3-year-old and a 6-month-old, when you have the flu, is like, that should be like our way of torturing people. It's really like torturous to try to take care of, little kids when you feel sick yourself. So it was a rough day yesterday. Luckily my husband got off work early and was able to come home and kind of help me wrangle them, and, made some grilled cheese and soup for dinner, and so I haven't eaten a whole lot the last several days. Kind of picked here and there at things, and water. Oh God, I couldn't even drink water, you guys. I was like really sick, throwing up, sick, and so anyway, so I'm kind of back at trying to. I don't even know, recover today and get some things accomplished. I have a huge amount of laundry to do that I wasn't able to get done midweek, so now it's all piled up on me. And I have to buy groceries today. There's just so much going on in one day. More than likely tomorrow, Saturday, my husband will probably have to work, and so I'll have the kids by myself. So, I have to try to get as much of this stuff done today when I can have them at daycare as what I can. People think that, it should be so easy to keep your kids, or just they're your kids. Well, you know what? 2 kids is a lot for one person to juggle, especially when you have an infant in there who, still takes a lot of bottles and baby food. So, 3 times a day you got to stop and feed baby food, and you got to, stop middle of whatever you're doing whenever she's hungry and feed her. And so it's a lot. It's a whole lot. Plus, a 3-year-old is, they're challenging. They're into everything. They want to do everything by themselves. Even when you don't have time for that, they still want to do it. So it's very frustrating, but so hopefully I can get some stuff done today. My focus today is just to kind of try to rehydrate myself and get some food in my stomach and maybe settle everything down. I am feeling better. So I had some eggs this morning, and I was able to drink a tea latte this morning, and hopefully, this is all past. I'm in a wedding next weekend, so I really need to get feeling a lot better before then, because it's going to be a hard enough day as is with my pain, and, having to stand for wedding pictures and being in a wedding and all day, all over the place, it's going to be a challenge. I'm sure I'm going to be going through a lot of pain pills next Saturday, so, I want to try to do as much of the prep as I can ahead of time. I have to travel for this. The first time I've had to travel since I hurt myself, and just the travel alone is going to be painful, and trying to travel with 2 kids and the dog and everything else. It's just so much. So pray for me that I get through this next week, because I'm ready. Monday is my visit with the surgeon, my first surgical visit, my consult. So I'm hoping to hear some good news. I'm hoping to hear that, we're going to move forward with doing surgery, and that it's going to be soon, because I just so desperately need to get back to work. We are in a big time financial crisis at this point, and I don't know what we're going to do, to be honest. I really don't. Worst comes to worst, we'll just have to pull our kids out of the daycare entirely, and cross that bridge when I go back to work of finding a place to put them. I mean, it's really, it puts you in a difficult spot when, I've had, my son's been there every week since he was 8 weeks old. So for almost 3 years straight now, we've had him in daycare, and, to have to stop that and try to find a new place would be really devastating to him and to me. We love our daycare. We love all the teachers, and, but, this many years in, you form kind of friendships with the people who are taking care of your children, and you learn to really trust them, and I would really hate to have to give that up, but you know what, life's about making hard decisions sometimes, so we'll do what we have to do and move on. But anyway, Really, the thing I want to talk about today is not weight loss surgery related at all. This is nursing related. And this week, the nursing world has blown up. Those of you who don't know, aren't in the nursing world, aren't in social media world, probably haven't heard of this, but I want to talk about it. So Monday on The View, the television talk show The View, they kind of did a discussion about the Miss America pageant, and one of the Miss America contestants, Miss Colorado, her talent portion of the competition was to stand up on stage in her nursing scrubs and her stethoscope and recite a monologue that she wrote, basically describing that she's more than just a nurse, that nurses are more than just a nurse, you know. To each one of us, it's very personal, it's very individual. We've all had unique experiences in the healthcare industry, and so she was just telling her story as to, you know, why she went into nursing. As a medical professional, I very much respected what she had to say. Now, there's a bunch of people out there that are saying nursing is a talent. I am kind of on the other side of that. I'm in disagreement with that. I do not believe nursing is a talent. I believe it is it's a profession. It is, we weren't born nurses. We weren't born with the knowledge to be nurses. We were taught to be nurses. Are we super caring, compassionate people who are willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do? Sure, of course. That's part of the gig, you know. You don't go into nursing if you can't handle blood and sputum and, you know, vomit and, you know, feces and every other gross thing in the world. You can't be a nurse and not tolerate that stuff. So, yeah, there's definitely something special about every single of the 3 point however many million nurses are in the country. But to say that nursing is a talent, I disagree with. I respect that she got up on stage and did something different. You know, didn't sing or dance or whatever other stuff those women do. I respect that, but to say that nursing is a talent is definitely, in my opinion, the wrong message. But needless to say, during the review that the ladies on The View gave, they made some really derogatory statements towards nurses, insinuating that her standing up on stage was just her standing up there reading her professional emails, and the one that was a zinger for the entire community of nurses is that why is she wearing a doctor's stethoscope, as if to say nurses don't use any kind of medical equipment. So obviously, if you've been on social media, you had to have bumped into this by now, that the nursing world is just, you know, blown up at the disrespect that was kind of handed down. There's been thousands and thousands and thousands of nurses posting comments on Facebook, Instagram, pictures of us in our stethoscopes or at work or whatever. There's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe even thousands of doctors posting pictures of themselves wearing their stethoscope along with all of the nurses that they work with. I've yet to see a single physician come on and say that they could do their job without the help of nurses. I think that pretty much anyone in the medical field understands the critical impact that nurses make. We are, you know, advanced in knowledge and skill. You know, we are the front line in healthcare. We're the people you see first when you come in the door to any healthcare facility, and we're more than likely the people that are going to be walking you out of the healthcare facility when you get better. You know, we usher life into the world, and we hold the hand of people who are dying and walk out of this world. It's a tough profession, both, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally. It's difficult, and I've yet to see a single physician get on there and have something derogatory to say towards nurses. Essentially, every single thing I've read is that not only do we do our jobs well, and we put up with a huge amount of criticism from physicians and backlash from patients who are very sick. And it's true. I mean, there's not a single nurse in the world who probably hasn't been cussed out by a patient at one time or another. And you know what? It happens all the time, and we just let it roll off our shoulders and do our job. You know, you don't want to piss off nurses. That's the deal. Like, why, you know, of all the professions to pick on, why would you say something derogatory towards nurses? There's so many of us in the world. And the truth of the matter is that people really don't understand what is involved in a nurse's job, because there's so many different fields, and every single field involves different tasks and different skill sets and different knowledge base. And anytime you change from one position to a new position, you have to relearn everything because things are done differently. And that's just part of healthcare. Our bodies work in different ways, so you're not going to take care of a heart patient the same way that you're going to take care of a kidney patient. So there's a lot of intermixed things that go on with nurses and even within the nursing field. So it's hard for us to just sit and describe what we do as a nurse, because what I do as a nurse is completely different than what somebody else does as a nurse. My skill set is a completely different skill set as what somebody else's is. But that doesn't make her less of a nurse or him less of a nurse than what I am, and it doesn't make me any better than anybody else. It just means that we all have an active and very important role in healthcare. And the deal is, for me, The View, they've lost a bunch of sponsorships over this, for one. Johnson & Johnson has pulled their sponsorship of The View. Cottonelle, Kleenex, there's about 8 different companies that have pulled sponsorship because they're really appalled at the way that nurses have been talked about. And the deal is all they would have had to do was, at the next show, come on and really give a formal apology, a sincere formal apology. But that's yet to happen. Basically, they came back on the next show and were kind of just like playing it off, like we didn't hear what was said, we weren't listening. Well, guess what? That's our job, is to listen. The majority of our job is to listen to people and to evaluate what is being said for truth, because anybody who's worked in healthcare knows that patients are a bunch of liars. So you have to pick out what is the important information from what's being said. So don't even degrade us anymore to indicate that we're ignorant and we didn't hear what you said, because we all heard what you said. And today they had a segment about nurses on today. Still, again, no apology. We're to the end of the week, and there's still no formal apology from The View, the hosts, or the show, just in general. And you know what? All these nurses and everybody who's posting pictures all over the internet of, taken with their stethoscope, and there's so many nurses telling their story as to why they're nurses, or, the story of the biggest impact a patient has made on our lives. And we all have those stories. Of course, we all have those stories. I wear a ring every single day that was given to me by one of my patients who made this silver ring. And you know what? My son is named after him. So yeah, they all make an impact in our lives for sure. But the issue that I'm having is that the nursing world is really taken for granted in a lot of ways. And because we are educated, strong-minded, intelligent people who are very good at our jobs, we get shit on professionally. We always work where we're understaffed, underpaid, and you know what is the biggest thing? Is that people believe, because we work in healthcare, that our healthcare benefits for our own families are this astronomically great thing. Guess what? It's the opposite way. Healthcare workers have some of the worst healthcare benefits in the world, and that doesn't make any sense. Shouldn't there be some perk for us to do the gross shit that we do every day? There's not. We do it because we have a calling to do it, and no other reason than that. And I find it so incredible that here we are, hundreds of thousands of nurses, millions of nurses who are getting pissed off about this whole doctor's stethoscope deal, but nobody's bringing to light the real issues of what ails us as nurses. We need better staffing ratios. We don't need to have, 8, 10 patients per nurse in the hospital. We need to have 4. We need more nurses staffed. We need to be paid better for what we do, because we're there, we're dedicated, we work long hours, we stay after when there's nobody else to do the job, and we don't get any kind of additional compensation for that. And we need better benefits. We as a society, as American people, could make our healthcare system so much better, stronger, safer than it is. But we can't, because our hands are tied by the government, our hands are tied by hospitals who are out to make money, our hands are tied by healthcare corporations who are out to make money. So, you know, I just wish that we could, you know, turn the spotlight away from just like feeling degraded, and let's talk about the real issues in our healthcare field and healthcare, the American healthcare system in general. I know that this has to touch the hearts of millions of Americans across the country. The healthcare system we have is a bunch of shit. It is for the people who work in it too. So, you know, we need to just turn things around. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And 15 minutes later, I have to shut up or I'm not going to be able to post this video. So, you know, if you haven't seen it, check it out. See you guys.